Well, apparently now, I mean, since you said that, we'll segue into since we talked about Umar Johnson and we talking about like we don't need white influence, you know what I'm saying, for black causes and stuff, man. Based off of what brother Malcolm X said, we also had a situation just recently when it came to like in the Ozarks, they had like a it's going to be like a white only town and stuff with a membership. So let's check that out real quick.
No Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
Interesting.
Thanks for the blueprint, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Really?
Okay. I mean, listen, when let's see how many of them actually start contributing to the majority of white folks that are currently collecting public assistance. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't even give a fuck about it.
Like, it's towns for sale. Like, we could buy a town and start our own little community.
Yeah. I mean, and that's it. Like, anybody can do that. I mean, and the thing is that in probably the dead middle of know nothing Arkansas, right? Like, where they bought that acreage, whoever bought it, there's nothing going on there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing absolutely going on there. So they buy the land, they develop it, they try to create infrastructure the best way they can. And with all of these things, what tends to happen is, or these sort of small community developments, when there's no progress, let's see how the perspective and feelings and association of people that joined there originally, let's see how much they continue to support it and be familiar with it and align with it after 2 years.
Because the question is, what kind of whites are coming over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they the woke whites? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure
the Amish been doing it forever.
Exactly.
The Amish know how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
They like their business. But that's the difference, though. I feel like when we do it, they don't allow us. They be all in our business. We can't just do it without them coming. Oh, what y'all doing over there? Like,
that's right. Yeah,
we'll get
because
you get some traction, and then all of a sudden, oh, we need this land for X, Y, and Z, and then they want to tear your stuff down and put a highway through or build a hospital or whatever the case may be. So
So I guess my question about land, I always hear the terminology. Yeah, man, you gotta buy some land, brother. Yo, you gonna show me how to buy land, or I have to really research? You know, so are you gonna educate me about buying land? You know what I mean? They don't do that. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want everybody, or you don't want the right energy to actually buy the land, and then it's just on some dumb shit. But if you see that a person got potential stuff for that, I would think that you would want to like collaborate with them without ego and try to buy land, because it's still possibility. Land, the like Kanye said, America's for sale. You know what I mean? There's areas like we don't know about, apparently. You know what I'm saying? And do we connect with the Amish, because they been having this game on lock for years? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they don't have no outside influence, and it's okay. They don't get touched. They don't get bothered. You know what I'm saying? They actually get business from outside sources to do infrastructure the correct way. You know what I'm saying? The old way, the peg way.
I don't know that they get any outside support. They're fully
No,
self-sufficient.
they literally some businesses use Amish to come through
Oh yeah,
rappers and do
absolutely.
that. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I mean, the truth is that nobody can, arguably nobody can build a quality dining room table or kitchen table or solid wood piece of furniture like the Amish. And you know what I mean? That's what they're known for. But I mean, outside of those type of things, I mean, they're very much inclusive and restrictive. You know what I mean? In terms of how they even do business with outside communities. So I don't know, man. I do know, and B can, I'm sure can speak more to this than I can, but listen, anybody can go and buy acreage or some acres of land out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's very easy. If you come up with the money, you can buy. There's tons of acreage plots across America that have been on sale for decades. You know what I mean? And that you can go and buy them, and I'm sure depending on where you are and the isolation of that acreage plot, um, annual property taxes are very cheap. The problem is that we can't, nobody with any good sense about purchasing land would just go arbitrarily buy land just because it's for sale and it's cheap and property taxes are cheap. People do it because they have prospecting metrics or information that allows them to see in the future and how the development of the land around the property in the area is going to come about. And then people will say, well, I'll buy it cheap for now. And then the prospecting and land development tools say that within the next 10 years, they're going to start building infrastructure around here. They're going to start developing the area, making it a little bit more urban or suburban. So it's a good idea to hop on it now, and I could sit on it for 10 years. So I'll drop the 50,000 for 20 acres now, right? In the middle of nowhere, because things are saying, or all indicators suggest that in the next 10 years, this area is going to be a suburban thriving area. So I'll buy it now, sit on it, and then in 10 years from now, I could flip it for, I don't know, 10x, 20x what I paid for it, just because of what it's going to become. But the thing is that you got to do that. You can't just go and arbitrarily buy land, because then what happens is you got 50,000 tied up into this plot of land that you're not farming on it, right? But you got to pay property tax on it every year, and that might not be a lot, but you're putting out all this money year after year, property tax, and maintaining it, right? And nothing comes after 10 years. So then you spent the 50 racks or 100 racks, and then you're paying property taxes every year. And before you know it, you up to $500,000 that you spent on this property, and it's nothing. And then you're trying to sell it, and then you sell it, and then now it's on the market for 10 years again. You know what I mean? So people have to be very strategic and have some knowledge about what they're doing before they just go and buy land.
So if all right, so for y'all, if y'all had 20 acres of land and stuff, or if anybody that that had 20 acres of land and stuff like that, what do you think they need to be developing on that land?
I tell you exactly. Like if I had 20 acres of land right now, I'll start growing hemp on it. I'll start growing CBD on it right away. That's exactly. I've thought about this. Like but then also too comes the infrastructure part, right? So I could go to many parts here in this big ass state in Texas, and there's large plots of land right in central Texas and northern Texas, right, and even southern Texas, southeastern Texas. I mean, where you could get acreage, right, for a relatively fair price. But then that's probably the easiest part of it, right? And in some cases, you can even get it for less because, some of these municipalities in these smaller towns, they have regular auctions for land. So people own the land. One person owned it. They don't have any heirs, so the land doesn't go to any heirs or whatever. Or it does go to heirs, and the heirs is like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about the land, or they just don't know about it. And then taxes are not paid on it, and then the state or the city pulls it back, and then they sell it at auction for a penny, or not a penny, but a fraction for what it's worth, right? Because nobody's showing up to that auction anyway. So the the auction process is not long. Anyway, they buy it, and then they just sit on it. But then if the plan was like me, say, all right, I'll buy it, and I'm gonna start selling, hemp on it, right, for me to sell CBD or cultivate CBD plants. The problem is the huge infrastructure that you got to create, right? You got to carve out the area where you're going to be growing. You got to put, obviously, drainage infrastructure in and farming infrastructure and all of that. So it takes a really big investment. So if you just want to have land, because you're going to build a house on it, then that's cool, I guess, if you want to be out in the middle of nowhere. Some people, that's an interest of theirs, and they have the money to do that. But if you want to do a business on it, that's cool too. But the easiest part is just buying the land. The hard part is building the infrastructure on it so that you can turn that land into a business.
Beautiful, man, beautiful. What about you, B?
Yeah, I had a gummy. High as hell.
You never know what we get at the Daily Walk show. You
said she had a gummy.
I zoned out like 3 times.
Wow. He was like, he was.
He said, B said, hold on. Did this nigga just say he would grow hemp on his garden? like that Wayne Brady skit on the Chappelle Show.
Oh man, right. So Brady had to slap bitch. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh, that was one of the best episodes.
Yeah, it was. Classic. It was, man. The last best episode, actually, man. But yeah,
I just land. I just want to reiterate. People buying land is not just buying land. If you have $50,000 and you want to buy land, or you got $100,000 and you want to buy land and you want to invest in land, that's cool. Acreage obviously can be very cheap in various parts of the country, particularly in those states that have vast expanses of unused land and there's nothing going on around it. Yeah, you can acquire that land, but what's the plan for it? Because the thing is that, if you want to pass things down to your children, that's cool, right? But you got to have a plan for it, because ultimately what happens is you could just be passing down debt to your kids.
Right.
So just think about that.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that, because